The last area I want to talk to you about is water. And we just had I mentioned my baseball playing days. We pitched a shutout before the Supreme Court recently. We won 9-0 on the Tarrant County case. As you know, Dallas sued the state of Oklahoma. Tarrant County sued the state of Oklahoma a few years ago. And we won at the district court level. We won at the 10th Circuit. And then Tarrant County tried to get the Supreme Court to come in and take the case, and the Supreme Court did. Now, one thing about that you need to know, the Supreme Court, to take up a case, 4 justices of the 9 secretly had to say, bring it up. So when you win at the district court level, and you win at the 10th Circuit, and the Supreme Court takes it up, we were concerned because we thought maybe 4 were against us before we ever went into the argument. So we go into the argument, and we win 9-0. Now that's a great thing for the state of Oklahoma. It's a great thing for the state of Oklahoma because Texas in that case was arguing something pretty profound. They were arguing that they could come into the state of Oklahoma under the compact, the Red River Compact, and access all 25% of their water north of the border. They didn't have to get any of it in Texas. We can get every drop of our water north of the border in Oklahoma, 25% of it. Now that's remarkable. And it was remarkable to hear Justice Alito during the course of the argument to say, really, Texas? Really? You think that you can go north of the border to get all 25% of your water and not have to draw any of it from south of the border? Yeah, that's what we think. And he asked something that was pretty, he said, what, are you going to send the militia, the Texas Marshals up to get that done? And those are the kind of questions that you hear through the court. And so I just sat back as we were at the hearing and I said, it's going pretty good for us. And we feel pretty good about it as we left the argument. And primarily because of this. States, when they allow other states to come in and do something within their borders, we take our borders pretty seriously. We're pretty proud folks in Oklahoma. And we should be. We got a lot to be proud of. And those Texans, they're a little proud too. I think at times, almost obnoxiously so. And that's the reason it's always good to beat them down in Dallas at OU, Texas. And so they get a little bit out of hand there at times, but they thought that this border between Oklahoma and Texas really just went away. The Red River Compact took it away, and we can just come. There are no borders anymore. The court didn't agree with that, and the reason they didn't agree with it is because when states get access like that, they do so explicitly. And we didn't do so in the compact. We didn't do so explicitly, and it was not clear at all that that's what happened, and that's the reason we won 9-0. Now, what does that mean on a go-forward basis? I've talked to Senator Schultz about this. The great thing about it, now think about this. If Texas had won, think about the impact on the state of Oklahoma. Texas was asking for 360,000 acre-feet of water. Not asking. They were demanding 360,000 acre-feet of water. And if they would have won the case, they could have leapfrogged every other permit holder in the state of Oklahoma, including Oklahoma City, that has about 136,000 acre-feet of water that they've negotiated out of the water in question, Subbasin 5. And so when you think about that Texas could have leapfrogged all the other permit holders and taken 360,000 acre-feet annually, that would have been a big deal. And it would have affected Oklahoma in a substantial way. Thankfully, that did not happen. So there is no right that they have to the water. They can't be given the water. They can't access the water at all unless Oklahoma takes steps to do so. Now, that means that Senator Schultz and Representative Ortega, the legislature, the governor, and others can hopefully, on a go-forward basis, do something about water. We need a state plan as it relates to water. To be so blessed with water, central Oklahoma east, and to be in drought conditions in this part of the state and us not do something about that to build infrastructure is not right. And we've got to do something about that. And there's one other lawsuit that we're working on that hopefully we'll be able to get that out of the way eventually so that the policymakers won't have any barriers, and that's the Chickasaw-Choctaw lawsuit. We're in mediation on that. I can't talk too terribly in depth about that because I'm subject to a confidentiality order with the court because we are in mediation. But I can tell you that we are in mediation, and we're working diligently across the table with the Chickasaws and Choctaws to try to resolve that lawsuit. Water litigation, when you really have it, and it goes on forever. It potentially could go on 15 to 20 years. It is best that we're sitting down at the table, negotiating, and trying to mediate that case so that we are not subject to 15 to 20 years of litigation, because it keeps people like Senator Schultz and Representative Ortega and the governor from being able to do their job, which is make informed decisions about how we can build infrastructure and get water across the state of Oklahoma, that we can grow our economies all over the state, not just in certain areas. And so my office is doing all that we can to remove those barriers. Tarrant County's down, one to go. And it was good to pitch a shutout. Now, we hope to get this other matter off the table so that we can have an informed discussion about it on a go-forward basis with the policymakers in Oklahoma City and communities across the state of Oklahoma. So I've just mentioned a few